Welcome to this episode of My Ramblings, Power versus Authority. What's the difference between power and authority? Let me give you an example. When I had transferred up to Great Lakes, I had accepted a job transfer. Technically, it's a transfer because I still retain all my civil service retirement and status and all of that. Well, plus I had accepted a GS-12 job up at Great Lakes. So, I don't want to go through the whole timeline um, of my time there, but so I'm looking at a project. I think two major projects. The two most major projects I worked on. One was they were either upgrading or providing a new laundry, um, which is a vital service, for an installation like a military base. Um, Most people don't see it, but every city or county has the hidden things necessary for civilization, which includes water supply, sewer systems, storm drain systems, and so on and so forth. Well, when you're running a large organization like the military does, well, you have needs that any members of a city would need, and laundry is a key thing. I don't know if they're this, it's probably this was one aspect of the base up there was, recruit training, and so, it was a very enormous laundry system. And another one was a gas station. You know, got to have a gas station. Everybody needs gas. So anyway, one of these projects I'm working on is, so I'm going through the specifications, and I think I was looking at, there was a question about the metering. So I'm going through the utility services, the connection to the base electrical system. And I get to the section where, some the charge for electricity, and none of the blanks are filled out. If you've ever written the specification for, I have for a number of projects, the Navy has a template specification, and in that particular section, the verbiage is, and the contractor never sees this. The people administering the contract never see this, but it says, a project decision needs to be made. Is the Navy going to charge the contractor for electricity, or is the Navy just going to consider that, part of the overhead for the project? And I have a pretty deep background in electrical engineering. I took some emphasis courses in power, learned all about metering, plus rotation through the metering shop. Learned even more, so pretty broad and diverse. So there's all kinds of load factors and stuff, and you actually have to think through it when you do this type of analysis. So I went through, I got some data from the contractor's trailer, what his HVAC was, heating, air conditioning, got the Navy's rate that they charge for electricity, and I think over the duration, I think the trailer was going to be in place for 3 months or 6 months, so it came out to about $26 worth of electricity. So I'm looking at this. So obviously, whoever did the project opted, because they had a choice: either fill it out, charge the contractor for electricity, or don't, and the government will absorb it. Why go through all the administrative expense if it's a minimal amount of electricity? So $26 worth of electricity over 3 to 6 months. So I sent an email to somebody, I forget who, associated with the project, probably project manager or something, saying, hey, look, this the section on charges for electricity and what have you, we're not filled out, and so as a consequence, it's not part of the contract. It's not one of the things that we contracted with the construction contractor. In other words, the Navy was going to provide the electricity for free. And when you think about it, if the Navy's going to make the guy pay for the electricity, the Navy's still paying for it because the contractor puts that in his bid. But I got this really harsh email back. What the hell do you think you're doing? What the hell do you think we made? Of course you want them to pay for the electricity and stuff. So either in my reply or the first email, I said, look, this is real sloppy work. We really need to take this as a lesson learned. And, if we wanted them to pay for electricity, we should have put the parameters in there. And, we should take it as a lesson learned and just try to do our jobs better as a group. Well, I guess I felt entitled to say do our jobs better. They had rated me as highly qualified for the job, which sometimes I wonder if they had an agenda, or I don't want to use the word subversive, but some underhanded motivation for bringing me up there. Because looking back, man, they really put me through hell. So anyway, I said, look, I'm just not I can't enforce that. No. Yes, I work for the Department of the Navy. I am a civil servant. I took an oath to defend the Constitution, but I also have a code of ethics that I'm adhered to. I took an oath to uphold the public trust, and I would be violating the public trust if I tried to make the construction contractor pay for this service that there's no contractual basis for enforcing that. So I go and I talk to the construction contractor, and I said, look, they're kind of mad at me because I'm doing this, but the contract is written in a way that you're not contractually liable for the electricity you can use. I know it's only $26, but the contractor says, yeah, that's okay, don't worry about it, we'll pay for it. And that's the difference between, well, I'm going to get to the difference between power and authority. Authority, it's not really invested so much in one person as it is invested in a person to carry out, the legislative authorized stuff, signed into law. And if I was working in private industry, maybe I would push for that and let the lawyers decide who pays for the electricity. It's $26. It's really not that big a deal. But, I think about it, and okay, the contractor's going to pay for it. Well, I have no basis for my position anymore. So, I let it go. That's kind of the way things work. If you accept a legal obligation that you don't have, the courts, from what I understand, generally say, okay, well, you accepted that legal responsibility, so it's yours. But so authority would be to enforce the contract, and to not resort to underhanded things or to try to trick a contractor, or to betray my duty to the Department of the Navy as well. So it's a line you have to walk. So authority is carrying out, what you're legally authorized to do, for lack of a better term. Power is, well, I am in a position where I could demand that the contractor do it, and he better, because if he don't, I'm going to get him on something else. And so, but that would be an abuse of power. But I think what the contractor understood is that if they objected and they fought this battle over $26, somebody is going to take it out on them in a different way. And so that's the difference between power and authority. And I really had a real issue with this because it really sets a trap for construction contractors. And I believe it makes the government act in an unethical way. It says we have power to make this guy pay for stuff that we didn't actually contract for him to do. And by imposing that on the contractor, that's power, but it's a misuse of authority. So the difference between power and authority. Thank you for tuning in. Keep watching. My book didn't get launched. I'm still writing it, but next time there's an opportunity, if you want to contribute to it or get an advanced chapter, I will. I'm going to make that available as soon as I have those details. All right. Thank you very much.